Alright. Alright, so as promised, I did state that I would probably do another video, just with a brief, hopefully brief, overhaul of the last 6.5 weeks. Um, I had my surgery on August 2nd, 2011, gastric bypass RNY. My hospital stay, my surgery, all of it was pretty normal from what I've seen on videos here. I went in at 5:30 in the morning, sat in the waiting room, filled out paperwork, went back to the little cubby where they had me change into my gown, put on my hairnet, my little beauties, get my IV, meet the surgeon, say goodbye to my husband, and they wheeled me back. I should have probably written down what I wanted to say. So I woke up and I was pretty uncomfortable. They kept asking me to rate my pain from 1 to 10. I would say it was about a 6 or a 7 every time, and they kept giving me pain meds. I believe it was every 15 minutes, so I was pretty out of it, so I'm not sure. After a while, I was like, it's not really helping, and she's like, well, if it's pressure you're feeling, it's gas pain, and the pain medication will not be able to stop that, so you just kind of had to deal with it. They took me back to the room. I really didn't bring anything. I watched a lot of videos about what to bring to the hospital, what I actually used at the hospital, and most people said, they brought too much. They didn't use it. They pretty much just slept and drank and slept and drank, which is what I did. The only things that I used were my toothbrush, my toothpaste, and the clothes that I wore home. That was pretty much it. I stayed in my hospital gown. Every time, the whole time I was there until I went home. I went in and had surgery Tuesday morning. I was released Friday afternoon. That does seem to be one day longer than most people. It wasn't due to any complications. My doctor told me right from the start it would probably be Friday when I went home. I had a little bit of something maybe wrong. The second day when they do where you take the barium and then they do the x-ray to see if there's any leakage. I thought it would only be like 1 or 2, like you'd take it, they'd look, we'd wait, they'd take it, they'd look. I think I waited 4 or 5 different times. I was to the point where it was an hour and a half after I'd taken it, and he still wasn't satisfied with what he was seeing, so he used what looked like a handle with a tennis ball on it, and he had me lay flat, and he used that to reach under the x-ray machine and like push on my stomach, which killed, so that he could try to, I guess he was trying to push down so that he could see my individual intestines a little better. He came to the conclusion that he didn't see a leak, but if I had any problems, they'd get right to it. So then I was allowed to do my water. They started me, with a little teeny tiny ounce cup, and they say, don't chug it, make it last for 15 minutes. I'm like, this is 2 drinks. How am I going to make it last for 15 minutes? But, you sip it slowly. My meals consisted of, I did the test in the morning and like really early, and I thought I would get to have a meal at breakfast, but the test took so long that I missed breakfast, and at lunch they still didn't give me my meal. So finally dinner was the first meal I had, and it was broth, diet lemonade, Jello, and coffee, or tea. I think tea. The only thing I did was drink the lemonade, and did some of the Jello. I think the first it was green, and the second it was yellow, which are not favorites of mine. But I got some of it down. The first day I didn't walk at all. I thought I would, but they got me up at one point and had me sit in a chair and then back in my bed. I also want to point out that the first day, the first 24 hours, I was in ICU. That's standard procedure for all of Dr. Salman's patients. And then they, moved me down to the normal recovery rooms, I guess, for the rest of my stay. The second day I was up and walking. That's when they started me on my liquid. Friday is when I had my first protein shake. It was really gross. I did get enough of it down that he said I could go home, but it did make me really nauseous. But we really couldn't be sure if it was the shake, the fact that they had moved me from IV pain meds to an actual pill, because I couldn't do liquids because of a problem with Vicodin, they said, that I have with Vicodin, and pain pills almost all, which is, you know, my problems. I get it and they make me throw up. And I get really sick, really nauseous, and I throw up. And they stopped my Reglan. I took Reglan was to regulate my digestive tract, you know, get things moving again after the anesthesia. And they skipped one because they gave me diarrhea. So I don't know which part of that led to the nausea, because being off the Reglan also caused nausea. So I went home Friday. Friday was really bad. I was really sick, nauseous, all day, and that was because I didn't go to the pharmacy and get my prescriptions refilled. I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to ask anybody. As I said, my husband not supportive of the surgery. He's not that negative. He is kind of negative. But I didn't want to ask him to go. I didn't want to deal with it. So I didn't have my Reglan, I didn't have my pain pills. Finally that evening, my mother-in-law went and picked up for me. So thank you, mother-in-law. And I felt better after that. I had a little nausea the second day in the beginning as well, but after that it was pretty good. Kind of already a long video just for my hospital stay, but you know, it was pretty typical. Walking was fine. I've had 2 C-sections, so if you had a C-section and you're thinking about weight loss surgery is easy. With my C-section, you know, they cut me all the way across horizontally, and any movement of my abdomen killed, because they cut right through all my abdominal muscles. This one's, you know, small holes all over. I have 6 total, 4 for the surgery, 2 for the drain. The drains came out Friday at like 10, and I think I went home Friday at 2 p.m. The drains were gross. I'm glad I didn't have to go home. That was a concern of mine before surgery, because I knew my husband wouldn't be able to help me. He's very squeamish, like cleaning them, draining them, but they said they would be taken out before I went home, and they were. But yeah, I think that's about everything in that first, you know, 5 days. I would probably make another video just brief about, you know, the other 5 weeks in there. So once again, thanks for watching. Bye.